All right, ladies and gentlemen, MrSotko here. Welcome back to the channel. Got a whole bunch of good crypto news stuff for you. And the first thing I want to talk about is eBay could soon add crypto payments because that could be pretty big. As big as PayPal, I suppose, considering that eBay owns PayPal, even though they kind of operate separately. But hey, fair enough. So this just kind of makes sense. E-commerce giant eBay signals it's opening the idea of accepting payments using cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin on the site. We're always looking for the most relevant forms of payment. I don't know about that, eBay. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And we will continue to assess that going forward. We have no immediate plans, but cryptocurrency is something that we're keeping an eye on. eBay, which is around 190 million users worldwide, has been popular for its online auctions, and just in case you were living under a rock. The news marks another possible landmark for cryptos, which have grown hugely in stature and influence over the past few years. Earlier this year, former eBay partner PayPal announced plans to start allowing shoppers in the US to spend their cryptocurrency to make payments when buying online. So former partner, I thought they were owned by each other, but either way, nobody likes PayPal or eBay anyway. So customers will be able to convert their Bitcoin Cash or Litecoin held in PayPal digital wallets and convert the funds into fiat currencies, letting them pay for purchases at the checkout. So eBay also suggested it would look at ways to add sales of NFTs, or non-fungible tokens, to its platform. The bizarrely popular practice allows buyers to own a digital piece of art or content, but has been ridiculed around the world for its lack of protection and the legitimacy of ownership. Now, I don't know about that. I'm not sure who wrote this article. Oh, Tech Radar. So that kind of makes sense. I don't think it's been ridiculed around the world for its lack of protection because, in fact, it's quite safe indeed on the Ethereum blockchain in general. I think it would just be ridiculed for the $36,000 Bad Luck Brian and $411,000 overly obsessed girlfriend memes. I would say that's a bit ridiculous, but definitely not the lack of protection. But if eBay is looking into NFTs, it's not just going to be Bitcoin. They're going to have to add something entirely different to the mix. It would have to be, they would sort of have to incorporate the Ethereum blockchain into eBay a little bit, or just at least add some kind of MetaMask wallet or some kind of Ethereum wallet in order for you to buy and sell these. So that's actually pretty big news. I think that's even better news than them just saying that they're accepting cryptocurrencies, because that would probably be through PayPal, maybe through BitPay, but considering that eBay and PayPal are in cahoots, it would most likely be with PayPal, and we all know that the cryptocurrency via PayPal is kind of fake cryptocurrency. But with NFTs, that could be a different story. Then they would have to actually interact with Ethereum in such a way. So that could be big news. So moving on here, Vechain's new patent could help offset carbon emission. So Vechain coming out with the news, yet the price isn't doing so well. I mean, it's still sticking around 20 cents. It's sort of trading sideways for quite a while now, regardless of the news of them coming out or them working on NFTs, and now with this as well. So Vechain Global Technology has petitioned for a patent with the U.S. federal agency, filed on April 22nd. The application seeks to register methods, devices, blockchain nodes, and a system for carbon recording and trading, per the document published by the agency. The patent has been attributed to, oh, here we go, Zhiliang Gu, I'm nailing these names, Xinli Tian, and Zihang Zhao. I probably nailed them. I mean, I'm easily the best name pronouncer in the world. Vechain's CTO, the document describes the method to obtain data related to carbon behaviors on different objects, and then converting that data into corresponding carbon data. Later, the information will be stored on blockchain-based platform for subsequent trading as a transaction, as confusing as that is. For example, an electric vehicle with a unique ID could provide data on the amount of electrical energy consumed. This data could be compared to that of a combustion vehicle to determine the baseline carbon emission amount. With a smart contract running on the blockchain platform, the owner of the vehicle can be incentivized to maintain its BE below average to receive a credit attached to its ID. And this makes a lot of sense because it seems like we're kind of going increasingly towards that conspiratorial carbon tax that has been talked about for a very long time. And that example makes a lot of sense, to be able to put it onto your vehicle, to be able to monitor things and maintain an incentive to have your carbon emissions very low, because it seems like the whole world is sort of moving in that direction, obviously. So this could be actually pretty good. And on the blockchain, I think even better, because I believe there was a story, either it was Volkswagen or it was BMW. I can't remember which one, but they were basically lying about their emissions for a long time in the United States, and they got fined something like millions, if not like $1 billion, because they were basically lying about their emissions, and their cars were far filthier than they were actually advertised to be. Or they were faking it during inspection or something like that. I can't remember the exact story, but this would be quite useful as blockchain, because that would be pretty hard to fake. Moving on here, over 375 million Ethereum shorts liquidated in a day as Ethereum tapped $3,450. So we did get to 3,500 today, and there was a ton of futures that got absolutely wrecked, because there was a ton of them that were all far lower, and very few of them that were $3,400 and higher. And I was actually going to comment on this last night. I didn't get to make the video, but there was a huge amount of shorts, and it wasn't liquidated as of last night, but it was looking like there was going to be a big, basically a big option call very soon, and apparently it was today. So the article was definitely right that I was looking at last night, and that they would all get wrecked and then basically forced to buy at $3,400. And that's probably why we moved to 3,500 today. And we'll get to CoinMarketCap in a second, because Ethereum dropped a few $100s just recently, like half an hour ago or something like that. And the reason why is because probably all of these shorts were absolutely liquidated, causing people to have to buy in or sell their crypto at a low price to other people. And it probably jacked up the market a little bit, but Ethereum's latest price pump to a fresh all-time high at $3,450 has caused substantial losses for bears. On-chain data reveals a new record in terms of liquidations of short positions on all derivative exchanges, worth more than $375 million in the past day alone. The price of the second largest crypto has been making headlines lately with consecutive all-time high records. The token increased, and Ethereum is not a token. These writers of these articles, it's not a token. Ethereum isn't a token. Ethereum is a coin. Tokens are on Ethereum, but hey, fair enough, has increased by roughly 350% since the start of the year, and its bull run only intensified as it entered May. So a whole mess of wrecked positions, and yeah, that definitely looks like a record, at least for the past couple year or so here. You can see beginning in July or so of maybe August or whatever of 2020 there, wasn't even close. So whole bunch of wrecked. That's why you never go short on Ethereum. Never go short on Ethereum. It's always going to keep going up. Moving on, corporations purchased $8 billion worth of Bitcoin in quarter one of 2021 alone. So it's no surprise that institutional money is involved in crypto. The landscape is very much different from what it was about 5 or 6 years ago. But back when Bitcoin was worth around $450, corporations, they weren't paying much attention to the industry, but now they are, watching it grow and mature. However, it might be shocking to find out just how involved they actually are. So corporations have bought $8 billion of Bitcoin using their service in the first quarter of 2021. This made up about 25% of Bitcoin purchases on Genesis within that time. Moro gave 2 reasons why companies had chosen to do so. So according to Moro, one of the big reasons corporations have just recently increased their BTC holdings is because they want to follow in the footsteps of companies like Tesla, MicroStrategy, and Square, all of which are known for buying huge quantities of BTC, although not so much Square. Tesla and MicroStrategy, Square, you're doing okay too. Corporations saw the financial gains these companies had, as well as the positive media coverage, and wanted in. Refer to the buy and hold corporations. In other words, they're not interested in turning a quick profit, but rather watching their assets appreciate over time. Clearly, any company doing this believes that Bitcoin is nowhere near its lifetime price ceiling. Because, well, quite frankly, Bitcoin doesn't really have a price ceiling. And also corporations are adding it to their treasury as well. So essentially when, Bitcoin goes up, their stock is going up. depending on how they went about purchasing it. So $8 billion just in quarter one of 2021. So we got a ways to go. Gemini adds Dogecoin as trading frenzy crashes Robinhood again. So Gemini, exchange held by Tyler and Cameron Winklevoss today, buckled under the pressure of the meme coin demand, adding Dogecoin to its trading platform. Meanwhile, Robinhood, likely the most popular trading app that supports Doge, went down following Dogecoin's ongoing surge above 60 cents. So let me just tell you about Robinhood for a second here. On my personal Facebook, and I've had a Facebook, I believe, I think I made a Facebook when like MySpace was cool. And nobody was on Facebook at the time. And this was like just shortly after it was a university only thing. And Facebook used to be this weird system where you had to be in these specific regions in groups in order to be able to contact somebody and add friends to them. And so nobody used Facebook at the time. And then afterwards, of course, they just sort of opened it up to everybody. You could just type in anybody's name. And then so it was a weird system when it first came out. It was very strange. Most people probably don't remember it. But so I've had a Facebook for a very, very long time. Just a personal one, you know, with friends and whatnot. And I've never, up until this day, well, maybe a few weeks ago, maybe a month ago, up until this point, I've literally never once heard anybody ever mention Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, any cryptocurrency whatsoever on my Facebook. Ever. Not in 2017, 18, 19, none of them. Not a single person. It's not like it's like my MrSotko Facebook or something like that. It's just my own personal one. So I rarely ever post a video to it. I think I have like 3 times over the years, something like that. Nobody ever pays attention to them because nobody's interested in crypto on my Facebook. But since this Dogecoin thing, I randomly will scroll along and will see somebody that I knew in high school that has no idea about cryptocurrency. They don't know how to mine it, send it. They've never had a wallet. They don't know about the inflation. They don't know about the block rewards. They don't know its algorithm. They don't know that they're mineable. I don't even think people know that Dogecoin is not new. I think they think that it's new. And because Robinhood came out and they can just straight up get an app and then put their credit card and buy it on the spot because of this whole Elon Musk thing and the whole GameStop thing. And basically Doge started exploding because of the GameStop thing. Before that, Doge, historically, if you look at the historical chart of Dogecoin, take a look at the all-time of Dogecoin. It came out in 2013, so it's definitely not new. So these people are like, whoa, this Dogecoin thing, let's get on that. No. You guys are way late to the party, but fair enough, whatever. So historically, about 90% at least of its lifetime, it was under 1 cent. In fact, it was only above 1 cent for a very brief time in 2018 until the whole GameStop thing came about, where people were buying the meme stock GameStop and pumping it, and it was in the mainstream media. And then along came Satoshi Street Bets and Elon Musk, and they chose Dogecoin to pump because it was a meme crypto like GameStop is a meme stock, and started pumping it. So this is literally the only reason why this is happening is because of the GameStop thing. It was basically a copy paste of GameStop. And literally people on Facebook are now telling people to get Robinhood and telling people to buy Dogecoin. In fact, a friend of mine who has never bought cryptocurrency, I've known him for years and years and years, another tech guy too, literally never bought any cryptocurrency, is now into Dogecoin as well. So people are just piling in to Dogecoin, and it's literally killing the Robinhood app because it's just so much volume. It's just amazing. Dogecoin is the people's money. It's organic, irreverent, and fun. It's not forced on us by government or central authority or some other central authority. It's chosen by us, for us, by the people, for the people. Wow. Tyler Winklevoss, CEO of Gemini, said in a statement today. So this was Bitcoin. This has been Bitcoin since 2009, but because Elon Musk and because of GameStop, now Dogecoin is the people's money. No, Dogecoin is a meme created by some dude who basically took Litecoin and just changed it a bit. That's it. Bitcoin is the people's money. So it's amazing how this is all coming down and how Dogecoin became more popular than Bitcoin very quickly. just because it's so easy to buy it on Robinhood. And do people care about Bitcoin, the longest, most secure, best cryptocurrency basically ever made, except for its low transaction rate? No, it's all about Dogecoin now. So it's just amazing how the cryptocurrency world evolves, and sometimes you might not even be able to consider it evolution, but rather like a cyclical process. Whereas Dogecoin has been around since 2013. And has been talked about. And I remember watching a video in 2017 of some guy buying Dogecoin, and he's like, and he's talking about his portfolio, and he's talking about how he had a bunch of Dogecoin for his children, just in case one day it went to $1. And I remember chuckling at that, and everybody kind of chuckled at that, because Dogecoin was fractions of a penny, and because of its high circulating supply and how much its inflation is, it's a chuckle, because there's just no way that it could. But now that the entire planet is buying it because of Robinhood, because this app is now on their phone, nobody would sit at their computer and download and go to Coinbase or go to Binance. Most of these people would just not do that. They can't understand it. They wouldn't go through the process of doing it. But now that it's on a phone, if you put anything on a phone, it's far superior, because everybody has a phone and everybody can just download an app and start just pressing away. Whereas these old exchanges like Coinbase and Binance and stuff like that on a computer is just way too hard for people, even though there's technically apps for that too. So it's just quite interesting cyclical process. And I was even having a conversation with people about Dogecoin in a live stream a few days ago, talking about how if it gets to $1, Dogecoin essentially produces, I believe it's about 14 million or something like that a day. I actually didn't do the math. Somebody just said it. I could, but it's basically one block in Dogecoin is 1 minute at a time. So every minute there's one block, and every block 10,000 Dogecoin are produced. There is no halving of Dogecoin. There is no circulating supply cap of Dogecoin. So it's just 10,000 Doge per minute of every day. It's something like 14. It's something like millions of Dogecoin a day. Somebody said 14 million. We're just going to go with that number for now. So if Dogecoin was at $1, we're talking $14 million per day are just being created. So even if Dogecoin does not move at all, nobody produces any volume whatsoever on exchanges, it stays at the exact same price. It would just the market cap would increase by $14 million a day. And if Dogecoin was $2, double that. If Dogecoin was $3, triple that. And that's a lot of pressure on miners, or on the retail investor, because we're talking people with a cell phone here buying Dogecoin because somebody told them to do it on Facebook. So, they're like, oh, I'll buy $300 of it. You know what I mean? It'll moon, and I'll be able to buy my Christmas presents or something this year. Right. And the problem with that is, like, these retail investors putting a few $100s in is going to pale in comparison. The higher that Doge's price gets, the more that it's producing, more value that it's producing per day. So at $1, it's producing $14 million, and that all has to get sold. And it might not get sold in one day, right? It's split up between all the miners, but we're talking a lot being piled up to sell to the retail investor. And eventually the price of Dogecoin will reach a point where there is just so much being poured into the system because of 10,000 Doge per minute and its price, that it's not going to be able to go anywhere. Eventually it's going to stagnate, and then I think a lot of people will end up losing their money because they'll have bought at the top, and then the price is just so high that 14 million or 28 million plus a day is just going to really keep pouring on them. So it's gonna be difficult. You could also argue that with Ethereum or other proof of work coins, and that sort of has always been a little bit of a problem with proof of work coins and staking, to be totally fair. But Bitcoin is a different story. Ethereum is a different story. This is just Dogecoin, and the inflation is very high on Dogecoin. Moving on here. This isn't news, but this is apparently the second highest, the second largest Dogecoin wallet. And you can see that it's 1,803 Doge. And so that's a value of something like 1,903 at 37 cents. So I think it's, or actually, I'm not sure why it says 37 cents on that. But it's supposedly a value of nearly $2 billion. So basically $1.9 billion. which is insane, because the market capitalization of Dogecoin, while it is rising pretty rapidly, it's nearly actually going to beat out Binance Coin here soon if it goes up another maybe 20 cents, 10, maybe 15, 20 cents or something. I'm not even sure. And see, that's the exact problem, is because it's creating so much Doge. The circulating supply is 129 billion Doge. But it just goes to show that this person, the second largest wallet, this is the second largest wallet. Basically, all of Doge is held in about 6 or 7 wallets. Something like less than a dozen wallets owns like basically 60 or 70% of all Dogecoin. So if this person went to sell and wanted to sell it all very quickly and wanted to sell his nearly $2 billion worth of Doge, it would absolutely crush this market cap. So it's 71 billion, and you figure, well, okay, that's only going to bring it down to 69 billion. Wrong. There's simply not this much volume, not 71 billion dollars worth of liquidity. The volume is higher, but not 71 billion dollars worth of liquidity on exchanges. So by selling a couple $1 billion worth of Doge, or 5 billion Doge coins, it would absolutely crash the market. I mean, one man could essentially wreck every single person and basically take everybody's money. And at that point, all of the money that the retail investors are putting into Doge at this point would just be a donation to those large Dogecoin holders, basically. So Doge is a very precarious thing right now. People have made, and people can make a lot of money on it, especially if you bought it 30 cents or 20 cents or even well before that, under a cent. You certainly make a lot of money, but the fact is that very few people hold almost all of the Doge. And just one person selling, even that one person selling 5 billion, 31 million Doge, it would basically crash it right back down to a penny or less, and everybody's money just poof in an instant, gone. There wouldn't even be enough liquidity. They would have to spread 1 billion Doge on like 5 different exchanges or something like that if they wanted to, and then it would still even be hard to sell 1 billion Doge across even five different exchanges. But that's all I have for you guys today. $2.2 trillion market cap, so everything's looking pretty good. We were at $3,500 Ethereum. I just wanted to show you this just before I go. We were at $3,500 Ethereum, and this is probably it was just simply too high, but we went down about a few $100s, which is a little unusual for Ethereum. A couple $100s is usually okay, but a few hundred is a little bit unusual. So I think maybe it was the futures expiring or something like that, and just people selling off their profits. It's hard to say, but $3,500 Ethereum, it ain't a joke. But that's all I have for you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the video. That helps me out a lot. My social media in the description below. Give me a follow on those when you get the chance to do so. Channel memberships active. Click the join button. $2.99. You get a Cool Beans badge. You look 32% cooler when you comment on the live streams and on the videos with your badge, and that's pretty hot games. But again, that's all I have for you guys. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.